Genesis chapter 25. Then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah. You don't hear a lot about her. Remember, Sarah's died at this point, takes another wife. And she bare him Zimran. And again, Abraham, whatever God done to Abraham to make him, be able to produce, it's still there. Him over 100 years old. Well, probably a lot older than that at this point. But she bare him Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. And Jokshan begat Sheba and Dedan. I've heard of them, they're in here somewhere. And the sons of Dedan were Ashurim, and Letushim, and Leumim. And the sons of Midian, Ephah, and Epher, and Hanok, and Abida, and Eldaah. All these were the children of Keturah. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac, but unto the sons of the concubines, which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts, and sent them away from Isaac his son, while he yet lived eastward unto the east country. So that's where he sent them away to. It says, and these are the days of the years of Abraham's life, which he lived 160 years. So that would be 175 for Abraham. Then Abraham gave up the ghost, and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. You see that all through the Old Testament, gathered back to their people, to their fathers. You don't hear a whole lot about heaven in the Old Testament, really. That's more of a New Testament thing, because we're going to get to, through Abraham, Israel. But remember, Abraham was promised seed 2 different ways, as numerous as the sand, the earth, and as numerous as the stars, the heavens. I believe he's got 2 specific different peoples. Israel of the earth, Jesus talks about throughout all the, old promises and the covenants and all that. That land had a lot to do with that. The earth, the meek shall inherit the earth. The body of Christ, who's also the seed of Abraham through faith, we are blessed with every blessing in the heavenlies. So that's how I see that anyway. Anyway, let's move on. And his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite, which is before Mamre, the field which Abraham purchased of the sons of Heth. There was Abraham buried, and Sarah his wife. So he got buried where he bought that cave that time to bury Sarah. It says, and it came to pass after the death of Abraham that God blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt by the well Lahai-roi. Now these are the generations of Ishmael. See, don't forget him. Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael, by their names according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebajoth, Kedar, Adbeel, and Mibsam, and Mishma, and Duma, and Massa, Hadar, and Tema, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedemah. Be a mouthful of family reunion, wouldn't it? These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names, by their towns and by their castles. So they had castles. That's pretty cool. 12 princes according to their nations. 12, just like we're going to see with later on with Jacob. He has 12 too. It says, and these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And he gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered to his people. And they dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as thou goest toward Assyria. And he died in the presence of all his brethren. All right, now we're back to the main line of folk here. And these are the generations of Isaac. Abraham's son, Abraham begat Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Paddan Aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. You see that a lot with a lot of these godly women. They're barren, and God has to supernaturally intervene to open up their womb. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I this way? And she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from your bowels. The one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. Remember that. That's a decree from God right before they're even born. The elder shall serve the younger. And we'll see, you know, when the carnal mind gets in the way, they try to go about it, because you start playing favorites, you get in trouble. You get out of the will of God, I think, because right there, he's already laid it out. It says, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So Isaac's 60 when he becomes a daddy. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. You get that all through the Bible too, especially when it comes to these two brothers. They're usually vastly different. Cain and Abel, Isaac and Ishmael. Here we got Jacob and Esau, several other examples. It says Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Isaac loved Esau because he liked his venison. He'd go out and hunt and kill this deer meat and bring it back, and he liked that. So he loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sawed pottage, so he put on a big bowl of stew or something here. And Esau came in from the field and was faint, tired, hungry. Esau says to Jacob, feed me, I pray you, with that same red pottage, for I'm faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. I guess that's a nickname. I looked it up. It means red. Remember, he came out red like a hairy garment, plus this, apparently this red lentil stew he's making here. That too. It says, Jacob says, instead of just being a good brother and giving him something to eat, you know, we see what kind of person Jacob is. Or, sell me this day your birthright. So no free meals here. He's wanting his birthright. He ain't just asking for a little bit. Give me your birthright. What's the birthright? Well, throughout the Old Testament, it's said, and you don't really see it hardly at all, especially in the big players, but the firstborn was supposed to get like a double portion of the inheritance. But like I say, you see all through here with the main people, usually the firstborn don't end up getting it. I guess that's why Jesus set things right when he was born, because he's referred to as the firstborn of all creation, the firstborn from the dead. But this is natural folk here, and it says, Esau says, behold, I am at the point to die. So he must have been starved out. What profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Despised it because he didn't really know what he had, I think, and it meant so little to him that he was willing to trade it for one meal, you know. So he said that he despised his birthright. And that's it for chapter 25. Lord willing, we'll show up tomorrow and try 26. See you then.